Hello again, bodybuilding fans and friends around the world. Welcome to another episode of Primetime Muscle. I'm Tim Wilkins, as always, joined by these two amazing guys. My friend, Tarek Elgindi.
Great to be here. Excited to be here. Happy to be here. Look at my friend, Chris Cormier. That tie matches his jacket. Incredible.
Thanks, Tim. Maybe.
Chris, you have put some effort in these last few episodes.
Yes, I have a team of people that I trust dearly to help me help you, if you will.
You're classing up the joint.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So Tarek, we've gone the last few episodes, starting off the episode talking about your Olympia battles. And you've made them all of our Olympia battles. We've had some great people, but you changed it up on us in this last one. It wasn't just two guys in the gym pounding it out, Chris showing them the moves, and the one guy picks what body part they're going to work. It was the reigning fitness Olympia versus another former fitness Olympia, and two ladies that definitely just went after it.
It was, in my opinion, the most entertaining and probably captivating to the audience, to the people that witnessed live. Was incredible. But there was movement, right? And it was done on stage just like the Olympia. We did some combos and then we told them to do the mandatories. They are superheroes, man. I just can't believe what they do on stage. The jumps, all that stuff is incredible.
So it was Missy Truscott, our reigning fitness Olympia, and Whitney Jones. She a three-time. Sorry, Whit. And to your point, I have been my years of emceeing the Olympia on stage. Fitness was always my favorite. Love the big people, but the fact that you can get in that condition and do routines has always been amazing to me.
Yeah, I don't comprehend how you can lift weights and then you go through a diet, because you still have the posing round, which is 1/3 of the scoring system. So you're still dieting for a show, and then you have to do all those athletic moves. They are, and they will always be, the superheroes of the IFBB Pro League. I joked with Missy. I said, if you put all the bodybuilders that compete on the Olympia weekend in a jungle in Brazil, in the Amazon, and you leave them there for a month, the fitness people will be the ultimate survivors. You know what I mean? They'll be the ones going up the trees, getting the bananas. They'll be the ones swimming. They'll be the ones that can survive and sustain injury. They are the superheroes.
So how did those two stack up, and where did one overcome the other? You say Missy came in with a fire. Not that they both didn't, but where physically did they match or outmatch each other?
I think Missy is kind of interesting, but Missy is wearing dark black, and Whitney Jones is wearing white. Their movements are completely different. Whitney Jones is more of a softer approach. Missy is more of a hardcore approach. Missy Truscott did not take this Olympia battle lightly. She didn't. She reminded me actually of Jeremy Buendia. She came in, she was very friendly, very courteous, but she wanted to win. And she did. According to the voting system on Instagram, she won the Olympia battle. People liked what she did better.
What was the margin compared to other Olympia battles?
It was 58%, 48%.
Probably the tightest we've had.
Chris Bumstead won 52% and Ramon 48%.
Wow.
Even though all those dinosaurs, the Canadians came through, But her intensity was there. You could tell Missy was practicing, in the morning. She wanted to win. And Whitney Jones, she was emceeing the show, so she had other responsibilities. And I think Whitney Jones was also very cautious. Her movements are pretty exotic, and she didn't want to get hurt. But you could tell it set up a great moment for the Olympia.
Now, you guys had like a padding down there, so a little bit more.
Of course,
springy.
we're highly prepared. Olympia battle.
Any other questions, Chris? Are you good?
Anyway, you were sitting right there. I saw you, come in with the banter and the normal Tarek stuff. But what did you see? Like, what it looked like a show. I couldn't hear them breathing and all that stuff. Like, who was like in shape the best? Like, who gave like, the effort, but yet can hold that breathing under control, hit the moves, execution, all that stuff.
Incredibly enough, something that I was shocked. They did the combos.
So you were rushing these girls, like from one, they didn't have that much rest.
Do you mind if I answer the question you just
I was
asked?
trying to help you.
Okay. No, if you
I was
ask
trying
the
to help
question, you just give the other person a few seconds for them to formulate the answer.
Okay, go.
Thank you. I was very surprised because I wanted to take my time and make sure they were okay. And I said, are you ready? And are you ready? And prior to it, we made a communication that they would like be touching this region if they're still tired. We wouldn't make it, that obvious. But at no moment
Nobody
did they
wanted to tap out.
display that they were tired. Every time I said, are you ready to go? They went like this. Are you ready to go? They went like this.
I was tired for them because that was exhausting to watch them hustle from one movement to the next. That one go, you go, and then in between get a little breather with a little water and get back in there. I think it was amazing. I'd like to see more of that, and I think it brings in a lot more people closer to the sport of fitness.
Fitness, which it really deserves it.
Yeah.
So you get inside scoop talking to people the way you do. We know Missy's coming back. Whitney's been training hard. She's been dieting. She's in amazing shape. She'll be there this year at the Olympia.
Yes.
And do we know if Oksana will be back?
I don't know that, Tim, but I know Ariel Kadar will be there. I know Whitney is guaranteed to be there. She looks great. Missy is going to defend her title. It's going to be very competitive. The key question is, if Missy Truscott wins this one, she'll have 3 Olympias, and this could be the beginning of a dynasty. And the fitness has been dynasty-driven since Adela Garcia. Whitney Jones has 3 titles herself.
You had Jennifer Hendershot had quite a few titles.
Correct. Now, Missy's still young, and if she wins 3 titles and it doesn't look like she's slowing down, we could see the beginning of a dynasty. But the last person to put a stop to her was
Whitney Jones.
So they all have their defining moments to me when you become a fan, So Whitney, when she had her injury and she still pulled off the win. So that defining moment to me, I was like, oh man, you gotta be a fan of her. And then and then Truscott when she did the with the wings, the tribute to.
Careful. Last time you said something about Missy, she came off the stage and looked straight into your eyes.
I was saying
I'm just letting you know to be careful. She watches
when
the
she had
show.
the tribute to the Mountain Dog.
She watches
when she had the wings.
Yeah.
Like that was a defining moment for her, for me. And the Arnold Classic win when Ariel had the Arnold Classic win with determinant. Like all these little defining moments. Who's going to have the next defining moment? We don't know, but we're going to find out.
Well, we will find out. We'll find out this year. We got a few more qualification shows. I was privy to a young up-and-comer, Amber Steffen, at the Lenda Murray, who put on a really, really high-energy, top-quality routine. It's going to be interesting, as we always talk about, when you make that jump from NPC Worldwide to the pros to that Olympia stage, what that level is. She's got a little size to put on compared to these other ladies because they do carry a lot of size. Some of these, like Missy's thick right now. Ariel Kadar, she hasn't hit her from what I've seen with her update pictures. She's still in a solid off season. A good bulk phase, I guess. Can you say that about female competitors? I just did. But she's looking like she's improved in areas she wanted to improve, and then it'd be interesting to see what she cuts up to on stage. But a couple of the other qualifiers I've seen in other shows I've emceed this year have been decidedly smaller than the top 5.
Well, it's incredible because people forget they have the posing round, which is 1/3 of their scoring. So they got to make adjustments throughout the year and then practice for their posing routine. It's incredible. Don't underestimate Ariel Kadar. You don't win 2 Arnold Classic Fitness Championships and don't become one of the favorites to win the Olympia. We talk a lot about Missy. We talk a lot about Whitney Jones. But Ariel Kadar can make a move.
Well, and Ariel, before we go to break, when I say bulk phase, I say it not only as a fan of yours, but as just a professional jealousy. That's all that is. It's someone that can actually gain quality size. When we come back on Primetime Muscle, we're going to be looking at a new monster in the 212 division that could shake things up this year in just a minute.
There aren't a lot of pre-workouts out there that are designed for that cross-functional athlete. So when you begin training, you need energy, and that's why we've included caffeine anhydrous. In phase 2, your body's demanding ATP. So we've included creatine HCl, and once you're moving, we want to keep it that way. So we've added FitNox to improve performance. We're really dedicated to providing pre-workout options for everyone, for every goal.
All right, we're talking about the 212 and a guy that Tarek saw at the show in India that you, as soon as you saw him in check-in, said, this guy could do some damage.
Massive, huge, got a lot of muscle, got a small waist, and Iranian, so he's got the Hadi Choopan pedigree. Look at that small waist, Chris. You know, he's got the flaring quads. I'd like to see more separation on the quads, right, Chris?
For sure.
More separation on the quads. Chris understands more than I do about this, but that's something I mentioned to him in India. You need more separation on the quads.
And what did he say?
You know, he said he's going to work on it. Small waist and the large clavicle bones, mass, and then just a little bit more back detail. We had the Russian competitor, Melnikov, who won the show, who was smaller, more conditioned, but I think this competitor has the ability to move up the ranks and make some noise.
All right, I don't know if you can tell from these two back poses or even that shot, but you're not seeing a side chest here. Tarek, did he have that hamstring hang of a Sean Clarita?
He did, yes.
Because that's going to be a big difference too. Chris, what are you seeing as far as a 212er right here?
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with my man Tarek with the small waist. I don't see the small waist he's talking about. I see that he's trying to do, you know, with the front double, I feel like he's attempting to vacuum, but it's not really going that way. But in the quarter turns, I'm not a huge fan of the stomach poking out like this, like right here. We got like this, I want to see like a upside down triangle.
Yeah.
So you got to have that controlled. He's not really contracting it and controlling it the way he should. I would give a little bit more, you know, with that front delt here, but I would definitely need more control out of the waist, at least to give the object of illusion way more than what he's doing in the quarter turns.
He needs to pose better.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about his shoulders from the back shot, Chris?
That looks good from the back shot. You know, hamstrings are grainy here. I would even give a little bit more outer development on the calves.
Does he remind you of Ashkenani?
Ashkenani had one of the best backs of his time in that era of time with the 212 division. I mean, I've seen him, you know, up close and personal a lot of times out there in Kuwait and Oxygen Gym. Shout out to you guys.
Chris made a lot of money. Took a lot of money out of those guys.
Gym, baby, I'll see you again.
A lot of money.
But yeah, I mean, Ashkenani had a tremendous back. I see a lot of potential here as far as making some noise in the 212. I would like to see that happen this year, but I placed in second to
Melnikov. So
Melnikov.
One of the great things about judging bodybuilding shows internationally, and you know, I've often shared that we judges, we text each other all the time, and
is there a hotline with the judges?
There is a hotline, yes. There's a hotline with the judges. We're in constant communication, and we noticed a lot of things. And sometimes you judge a show and a competitor that, hey, he didn't win the show. He placed fourth, but he's got incredible genetics. and you send a picture to other judge, and they go, man, incredible. If this guy was conditioned, he could very well win the show. Now, it's almost a matter of pride if you're the first one to find out that athlete that nobody has ever seen before, right? I remember, Sandy Williamson. She was the first one to actually see Hadi Choopan in Korea. She was the first one to let us know about Hadi Choopan. Does that make sense? Hey,
Yeah.
I take a lot of pride, and I brag, and Derek Lunsford will say yes.
He also took a second,
Can I just finish my story?
Go ahead.
It's my only moment to brag about myself, and you're interrupting me, okay?
Polish your trophy, Chris.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I told Derek Lunsford prior to him turning pro, you have the potential based on your large clavicle bones and small waist to win the 212 Olympia and to win the Open Olympia. He looked at me like I was crazy, and that actually could turn out to be truth. So you have those moments, and Morteza is one of those competitors from Iran. He took second place, but I want to tell him, young man, don't give up, keep going, because I see tons of potential in you. And there's a competitor that I judged in Romania at the Olympia Amateur last year. She's a women's physique competitor. She also competed in women's bodybuilding, Sahar, okay? And I'll tell you, at the moment this woman steps in the United States stage, she will be the talk of the town because she is incredible, okay? Start learning how to pronounce her name, Chris Cormier.
Now,
Okay,
I saw a similar athlete at the Linda Murray show in Atlanta, Carlos Domar, who had beautiful shape. He had very young muscle that when it ages, like the guy who had eventually qualified for his fifth Olympia at that show, John Jewett, when it ages, he's going to give a lot of people trouble. So now you got John coming back with those full muscle bellies and the just really dense muscle. Sean Clarita, of course. Kamal has made huge strides. For somebody who should not be improving anymore at his age, he keeps getting better. I don't know if you've seen any update pictures from Kamal El-Garni.
I have not seen.
It's mind-blowing.
But his Arnold Classic performance was not as impressive as Sean Clarita's, right?
Right. And Sean got a lot of the good comparisons with the top guys, top four, so. But I just want to back it up a little bit. You made a comment about Hadi in Korea and Sandy Williamson making it known that, oh man, look at, watch out for this guy. But he took second in that show, correct?
To Flex Lewis.
So took second in that show, but he was the most impressive specimen, basically, to where she's going to talk about the guy who took second.
No, hey, absolutely. And what you see is great deal of potential. They might not win the show. Like we talked, Chris, about Stefan, the guy that took second at a pro show, Classic Physique.
Right.
He's got a great structure, great this. We talked about him, but there was a competitor there that was better. Does that mean that guy has more potential than him? No.
Nope.
The second place has more potential, and we're just kind of mentioning.
Yeah, Delingo is, man.
So I think one of the other big lessons from this experience, guys, is if you're married to a judge, like your beautiful wife, Heather, who's been married to you, traveling all over the world, you don't need to worry about what your husband is doing when he's away, because he's on the phone with other judges going, I found a really awesome 212. You got to see him. I'm sending pictures now from the stage.
Look at
You are so good. Heather, you're very lucky. Look, it's green trunks. It's Classic Physique. They were black.
I'll tell you this. One of the funniest judges' stories. We finished up judging a show, and we're all at the bar at the hotel. And it's 5 of us judges. And a competitor comes in, and she's all dolled up. I think she's going to go out. And she comes up to the table, and she says, hey, Tarek, I'm so sorry. I was wondering if I can get some feedback from you. And I remembered her. I remembered her from the show. And I go, well, you have great lines and this and that, but you need to be more conditioned. We need to see a soft separation between hamstrings and glutes, right? And she's very gracious, and she walks away, right? As she walks away, she's wearing these beautiful white jeans, and she's got a nice top, the hair, everything looks perfect. And as she walks away, all of us judges just looked at each other and said, what the hell is wrong with us? That woman looks perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just like our sport is so critical of the physique, and these human beings look already amazing, and you got to find one flaw on an amazing physique.
Well, Terry, that stopped me in a lot of times in my dating days. I don't like her symmetry. I can't date her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that left calf is a lot smaller than the other calf.
Burning through a marriage like that myself.
Chris,
can't do it.
Here for some feedback.
We know full well how critical you are on your selections.
All right. When we come back on Primetime Muscle, we're going to be talking about the category of wellness and one competitor that has made her mark. With or without the confidence behind her, she said, I'm pushing forward. And here she is at the top of the food chain. We'll be back. As wellness continues to evolve, we're looking at some of the best athletes in the world kind of making their mark. But Tarek, there is one in particular, Giselle Machado, who really didn't have the confidence behind her as far as support. She had the confidence, obviously, to get there, but she's got an interesting story.
One of the most interesting stories, and people don't know it, and I want to share it. Giselle Machado was a great wellness champion, and when the wellness category was coming up, I was in Brazil in 2017, and I remember sending a message to Robin Chang and saying, Robin, we need to get as many competitors on the NPC side. We have this category wellness. I know we don't have the category, but they have it here. What can I do? And he goes, Tarek, you can do a model search. And we did a model search in Brazil. Man, I couldn't get one competitor to offer to be on the cover of our posters. But some competitors finally came in and they competed. Giselle Machado was one of them. Giselle Machado, like Franciele Matos, like some of the great champions that we see right now on stage, she is one of the pioneers of the wellness in this NPC level. But she didn't win her pro card in Brazil. And some of the Brazilians looked down on her because of that. Franciele Matos won her pro card in Brazil. A lot of the girls won in Brazil. But Giselle won her pro card in Romania. And she tried to win her pro card in Brazil, but she couldn't. It was just a matter of time, though,
Romania was the Amateur Olympia?
It was, I think it was the Romania Muscle Fest or Amateur Olympia. I think it was the Romania Muscle Fest. She won her pro card, and then on the same day she competed as a pro, and she won it, and she made it to the Olympia. And a lot of the Brazilians, they said, oh, you took the easy road, you didn't compete here against some of the best Brazilians, you're not legitimate. And she was heavily criticized. Even some people that were in her supplement company criticized her, which they thought it was unfairly, because she would have done greater marketing for her supplement company if she had done it in Brazil. She was criticized. Eventually, she parted ways with that supplement company. So going to the Olympia the first couple years, people thought, yeah, she will never place. She'll probably be 16th or 15th. She'll never make it. And this girl is like on the first call out of the Olympia right now. This girl is winning shows. And whoever said that she took the easy road, man, you better have your tail between your legs, man, because this girl won the Pittsburgh Pro. She continues to do great. She continues to win a lot of great shows. And it's a great example for a lot of the other competitors. Ignore the noise on social media. People are going to be mean to you sometimes for no reason. Just keep doing your stuff and proving yourself. And she's the ultimate underdog, man.
Well, I'm glad she left that other nutrition company because now we are teammates at Java Labs. My teammate, I love her last name. That just, I mean, as the competitor, Machado. Like you want to have a last name like Machado if you're going to be in the wellness category. You know, winning in Pittsburgh, she was awesome there. Also going to New York Pro and winning there. Also, I was a little like, you know, it took me by a little surprise for her to, reel off those couple of wins like that.
And it doesn't matter where you win your pro card. When you get on a pro stage at Pittsburgh or Tampa or New York, those are big shows.
Yes, and she went against a formidable category of women that was, man, that the whole top 5 was awesome. And there's a lot of young girls, you know. I know she's living in Cancun, Mexico now, and she is, stop jumping, and she is doing she's putting it down. She's putting in the work, and she wants to get better. And I think she's going to be her all-time best at the Olympia this year.
If she is in her all-time best, where does that put her? I mean, it is so close. When that top 5 walks out, there's points between them. It's not, 6 points versus 23 versus 30. It's 6, 9, and 11. Where does Francielle and Giselle and who else do we think is at the top? Isa.
I'm going to say that, genetically speaking, Francielle Matos and Raiane Fogal are the 2 most genetically gifted wellness competitors we have. But Isa Pereira is more consistent than Raiane Fogal, and Giselle Machado has also been very consistent. You have the Canadian super blonde, Cassandra Gillis, and she's pretty good too, and she battled it out with Giselle Machado. She beat her at the Olympia, but then she lost in Pittsburgh. I believe Giselle Machado can be right around that top 4, top 3, top 5. And if Francielle Matos, if she's not in top condition, top shape, anybody can surprise her. We don't know if there are injuries. We don't know if they're 100%. But Giselle Machado has proven, hey, I'm for real.
So, circle back to something you were talking about earlier with, these competitors at every level need to overcome social media. And if you can't, don't put yourself out there for a while. Just hang back, do your thing. Even understand that if you don't put yourself out there and there's a top 5 lineup somewhere on some post, they're going to pick it apart. But this is for you. How glad, or can you even begin to play out for us what it would have been like if you were around in the era of social media competing?
I think I have a few million watching. I think it'd be, I don't know. I just don't know if I could turn the camera on myself so much with the, self-promotion like that. But I did enjoy, I think I would enjoy having people looking, deeper into what I was doing, preparation and everything, seeing the hard work on a more constant basis instead of waiting for a whole 2 to 3 months to see something that I was doing,
The fans is the easy part. What do you think about the scrutiny in this new level of unfan?
Yeah, I could probably see how some guys come unglued about it because it can get to you. I mean, how could you not? If your name attached to something, it's hard to not read it, unless you just put it down and have someone else dealing with your social media, and you just keeping your energy and your focus where it should be.
Yeah. So are there other countries now? We talk about this often. You got Cassandra Gillis out of Canada, but there's quite a few Americans that are starting to make their way up into that top 5 to top 7 range. Are there a few that are going to start battling it out?
Danya, she won the Chicago Pro. Man, she is incredible. Can't wait to see her at the Olympia. I think we're going to have a shakeup. This Brazilian dominance on the top 5 is near the end. I can foresee this. Hopefully, you don't translate this to Portuguese. Otherwise, I'm going to get murdered.
But I still think, for another year or two, it's going to be top heavy with the Brazilians at the top. I still think a lot of American girls.
You're just trying to be soft right now.
I still think the American girls need to get those legs a little bit bigger.
Story of your life, Chris Cormier.
Just a little bit bigger, girls. Come on,
Well,
USA.
I don't know what the emoji is in Brazil for the wellness division. I don't know if it's drumsticks or whatever. It can't always be dinosaurs. That's for Ramon. But we'll see what this year holds. We've got a few more qualifying shows to see who is going to grace that Olympia stage in all categories, but especially wellness. And we'll see if there's some shakeups. In the meantime, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us who your favorites are. Tell us who we're forgetting.
Who do you think in the wellness division? Who you want to see climbing the ranks?
Absolutely. And you've got a few more shows around the world to judge. Be safe in your travels.
Safe, strong, healthy. Let's get it done. Olympia 2023. Subscribe
Let's
to
go.
Olympia TV. Otherwise, your life is going to be miserable.
And go back and watch all those Olympia battles on Olympia TV. Real deal, Chris Cormier. Good to see you, my friend.
I'm out of here. Good to see you, my brother.
We're doing this. And Derek Elgindi, Tim Wilkins. We'll see you next time.
We're doing this.